Hello guys, welcome back to a new YouTube video. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about past perfect continuous. So let's get started.
Okay, past perfect continuous tense. So first of all, what is it? What is the past perfect continuous? The past perfect continuous describes an action that started before another point in the past and continued for a period of time before that point. It emphasizes duration or how long rather than the completion. Okay, the structure. For affirmative sentences, we have the subject, then had, the auxiliary had, then been, and the verb in ing form. For example, I had been studying, she had been working, they had been waiting. Okay? We have some examples. I had been studying for 3 hours, she had been working all day, they had been waiting since noon. Okay? Negative subject, the auxiliary had plus the adverb not, been, and the verb in ing, and the complement. I hadn't been sleeping well. She hadn't been feeling well. We hadn't been talking much. For questions, the auxiliary had, the subject, been, and the verb in the ing form. Had you been studying? Had they been waiting long? Had she been working there? Here we have a timeline. Here we have the past and the started point. Okay, and all of this in purple is the duration of the action. Here says it continued. For example, she had been studying for 2 hours before the exam. Okay, so here's another action, also in the past. As you can see here, all of this is in the past. Okay, so she had been studying for 2 hours. So she started here, she started studying, and she studied for all of this time, which is 2 hours in this case, before the exam started. Okay, this is the exam, which is also in the past. But the past perfect continuous emphasizes the duration, okay, of the action. So we're focusing on that. The studying began before the exam. Yes, here's the exam, and the studying started here and continued until the exam started. Okay, all of this is the duration of the studying by the girl. Okay, when do we use it? To show duration before another past event. It answers how long. Examples: I had been reading for an hour before dinner. They had been waiting for 45 minutes before the bus arrived. She had been living in Bolivia for 5 years before she moved. To explain the cause of a past situation, sometimes we can see the result. Examples: he was tired because he had been running. The ground was wet because it had been raining. She was nervous because she had been preparing for the interview. Time expressions. Common expressions include for 2 hours, for a long time, for years, since Monday, since 2020, all morning, all day, before, until. Examples: I have been working all morning. She had been waiting since 8 a.m. They had been playing for hours. Past perfect versus past perfect continuous. Past perfect focuses on completion. Past perfect continuous focuses on duration. Past perfect, she had written 5 pages. Past perfect continuous, he had been writing for 2 hours. They had finished dinner. They had been eating since 6 p.m. I had cleaned the house. I had been cleaning the house all morning. It focuses on the action being executed. Notice past perfect, what was completed. Past perfect continuous, how long was it happening? Okay. Past continuous versus past perfect continuous. Past continuous, it's an action in progress at a specific moment in the past. Past perfect continuous is an action that had been continuing before another past event. An example of past continuous: I was sleeping at 10 p.m. Okay, it's an action in progress at a specific moment in the past. And past perfect continuous: I had been sleeping before 3 hours before you called. It says that it's an action that had been continuing before another past event. That's the difference there. Stated verbs, we normally do not use the the past perfect continuous with state or non-action verbs such as know, believe, love, hate, understand, own, want, need, remember. Instead, we use the past perfect. I had known her for 4 years. I had been knowing her for years. This is wrong. Okay. Signal words. These words often indicate the past perfect continuous. For, since, before, until, all day or morning, all week, because. Examples, focusing on the duration. They had been driving for 6 hours before they stopped. I had been studying since 7 a.m. She had been teaching for 10 years before she retired. The cause, he was exhausted because she had been working all night. The children were dirty because they had been playing outside. Her eyes were red because she had been crying.
That was it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.